In 1980, we began restoring bald eagles to Catalina Island. We had our first breeding in about 1987, but the eggs broke in the nest. We managed to get into the nest and get some of the egg remains and found that they had very high levels of DDE. So beginning in 1989, we actually started removing all the eggs from the nest as soon as they were laid. We'd replace them with artificial eggs, which the adults would continue to incubate, and we would take the other eggs up to the San Francisco Zoo. They'd try to hatch them, and then we would bring chicks back down and just foster them into the nest and let the adults raise them that way.
There's been a whole level of conservation efforts that have gone into recovering those populations and bringing them back as breeders onto the islands. But the resource managing agencies said, well, what if we reintroduce bald eagles back onto the islands and they eat island foxes just like golden eagles are eating island foxes? I said, well, one way to look at that is let's go back to one of these historic bald eagle nests on the Channel Islands. We had 10 island fox bones out of 10,000 faunal elements. So what did that tell us? You don't have to worry if you're going to reintroduce bald eagles back onto the islands, they're not going to be killing island fox.
The public response to our restoration work is incredible. We've managed to set live webcams on some of our nests. We've got a huge following of people that will watch these nests throughout the day. One of our viewers from New York actually called us up and said, these chicks were just knocked out of the nest, attacked. One had a hole in its beak and one had a broken wing. We were able to recover the chicks, get them to the mainland for rehabilitation, bring them back out and release them.
My wife and I were privileged to be there when the first 2 eagle chicks hatched on the island were released. Chicks, these things have claws the size of your hands, and it is a mighty impressive and wonderful thing.
And now we have about a dozen adult pairs on the northern Channel Islands. Most of those are successfully producing chicks on their own.